One artist who was very influential on me is Francesco Clemente. And I was fortunate enough to meet him. I lived in New York in the 80s and 90s, and I had a friend who was their nanny. And so I got to meet him, and I even babysat for them. And at that time, I was very awkward, and his English was not great. So I didn't have much exchange with him, but I saw his studio and how they lived, and it was very impressive and very glamorous. But even without having met him, he was still a big influence on me. And one part of it is focus on the body, and the body as kind of the boundary between oneself and the world, the sensations as the way you experience the world, and the body as an interior space, things like that. And then the interest in other cultures, the iconography of other cultures like India, and so I have those things in common with him, and so I put a little glitter on these. These are spray paint and glitter. Wee boats. His work had a folkloric angle to it. It always looked like it came from some kind of tradition or culture, or some cosmology, some kind of legend. Skulls. I saw a lot of pictures of the catacombs recently in Paris, and there's just all these skulls piled up, and I was just thinking that every skull there is a relic of a life lived, and all the experiences and sensations and memories and desires of a lifetime that pass through this skull that we carry around with us through life, and then ultimately dispersed into the universe as energy in some mysterious way, leaving this little husk. Tears flowing upward. There's an opening at the top here. That's something that happens in a lot of these pictures that I make. I like there to be an opening from the outside to the inside. I've done a lot of variations of this image. It's a condensation of all five senses into one image. Hearing, touch, taste, smell, sight. It's a big mouth. Big mouth with some little figures inside it. Another one, big mouth. Another type of image that I've made a lot of variations of, the inside penetrating the outside. I'll do variations of the same image where I change the arrangement of the lights and darks and the way that the tones gradate with each other. Sometimes it'll gradate from top to bottom, sometimes from the center out, which gives you different senses of space and depth and so on. This one, it's like it's contained within a square, but then the square kind of disappears upward. These are made by folding and cutting paper, using them with spray paint as stencils. This one is white paint on black paper, black paint on white paper. So they'll have a slightly different feeling to them. Numerous variations of this one. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. There, something else. This is another image. I've done numerous variations of this. Kind of a condensed face. Done with reversals and repetitions. We have two eyes. And then two noses, two mouths. This one's kind of cool. It's a little different. There's something missing here. There was an image that I cut out from the middle of this. There's something nice about the way the spray paint went in the background. It looks kind of like, you know, a background with a shadow underneath this object. The thing is, I don't remember what that was that I cut out of here. So there's an absence that, unless I can remember, we'll never know. Okay, well. I just try to make images that are as reduced as possible, that are as simplified as possible. And there are traces in them of something that happened prior to it arriving on the paper here. Some of these I used as stencils for other works, and so they have these leftover artifacts. These are from. I would use this as a stencil, and I'd put stones on it to keep it in place so it didn't blow away. And so the stones, they leave these little imprints here that look like some kind of glowing flashes or orbs or something. And I really like that. Another variation on the skull. It's kind of like two skulls coming together. You have these sharp edges here, and then these soft edges here, and there's a nice tension between those things, a nice sense of seeing into this space here in the center of these skulls. Well, I think we're at a good point to pause, and we'll make this part one, and I'll say some more in part two. So, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.